A man is behind bars for a shooting that left a 34-year-old woman dead on Friday morning. 37-year-old Delfino Chavira was arrested just hours later. It is tonight's top story. And we are only a couple yards away from a school, and we were told by a parent that all of the children were actually put in the cafeteria as this was all going on. I met up with the National Weather Service this morning, but before I get into their preliminary results, take a look at this. I mean, look how close this tree is to almost hitting a house. Joe, can you see me? Okay, well, how about now? Now, imagine being stuck in this cornfield, unaware of where you are for hours, and including in the night. Authorities say it was like searching for a needle in the haystack for Mr. Trevino. Here's what his family, that emotional testimony, has to say. One of the important parts, I would like to think, is the food. Take a look at all of these vendors. I mean, we have everything you could possibly want. Seafood boils, fresh squeezed lemonade, fried Oreos, corn dogs. First of all, let's hope that this wind calms down before the race. That's something that is really hard to prepare for, but regardless of which length or leg you're running of the race, there's a lot you need to take into account to make sure that you cross this finish line tomorrow. Here's what some runners have to say. Police say security surveillance systems can be very helpful in helping solve those types of property crimes, but the video that the systems captured are only helpful if it's reported to police. Principal Holmgreen says due to the seriousness of the allegation, it was very important for them to immediately begin an investigation, as well as reminding students how to use a cell phone responsibly. Big things are happening in this lab at Del Mar College, including research on a virus that could actually save lives.
All they're doing is making it worse.
Residents in the neighborhood that surrounds Lamar Elementary not holding back what they think of a new homeless shelter. Angelica Corona says they weren't even notified about the potential rezoning.
We seem to be a neglected community. We come out, it's like the out of sight, out of mind community. It seems like
residents citing concerns like homeless people using drugs or prostituting in their neighborhood, saying a homeless shelter will only bring more of that activity.
It's about transients. We already have an influx of that going on. There's already crime. We've already got drugs galore. And then to put something like this, it's just more of a burden on our community, and nobody seems to want to listen to us.
Carol Murphy with the Good Samaritan who would take over the building says their clients aren't the kind of people who would cause issues in the neighborhood.
Homeless don't have money to rent houses. They don't have cars to drive by and shoot people. So a lot of the crime it's already there. We're not bringing more of the same.
Murphy says she understands the residents' concerns, yet believes the new shelter would strengthen the community.
Anybody from the outside that's trying to hurt them, trying to deal drugs, trying to pick up one of our ladies, it's not going to happen.
This is not what our community needs. We need something more.
Heidi Havda also had something to say.
I'm voting against this zoning ordinance, not because I don't believe in what y'all do, not because I don't think that your service is good, but somebody needs to help this neighborhood. And this is not the way to do it.
The rest of the board voting against the rezoning. Next, they'll take their recommendation to City Council. Madeleine Dart, 3 News. This tranquil space in downtown Corpus Christi has been in the city's possession since July 11th, 1942, a gift from the Blutcher family, which Mayor Joe McComb says has requirements to keep it.
We fulfill certain things to maintain the integrity of that gift of a park, of a birding location.
Stated in this deed, the city of Corpus Christi is required to upkeep the park. Mayor McComb says if they don't, a revert clause kicks in.
If the park is deteriorated or damaged or destroyed or abused in any way and not fulfilling the agreement that we agreed to 77 years ago, and if not, it immediately reverts back to the heirs.
McComb says that's why the council will vote on this ordinance. The punishment? A fine. Advocate Eric Holguin and other protesters believe this is criminalizing homelessness.
And it should never be a crime. And so that's what the city's trying to do. And they're trying to find people who don't even have money to buy a hot meal at the end of the day.
Holguin says everything prohibited is what homeless people who are living in Blutcher Park have. And the city just wants them out.
And that's not the case. We've got a homeless problem in Corpus Christi, and the council's committed to try to address that.
McComb says they are working on several initiatives to help the homeless. Yet Holguin says it's not enough.
Come to the table and have an agreement, not only on this ordinance, but at the issue at large.
We'd welcome any constructive and positive suggestions of how to address the problem. But trying to connect these two, that's a misconnection.
Madeleine Dart, 3 News. Inside one of these homes is a restaurant, which looks and sounds just like this.
These are just light summer tastes, some berries, some cheese on some olive oil toast.
Chef Natalie Trevino is bringing strangers into other people's homes with, yep, you guessed it, food.
It's so rewarding.
Trevino inventing this pop-up dinner party called the Ruffian.
My take on food is always with French techniques, but I'm Natalie, I'm gonna throw stuff, whatever I want to put in there, so the Ruffian just kind of comes in there and roughs stuff up.
But the location of this dinner, it's up to a trusting stranger who decides to host it. The location remaining a mystery to everyone who buys a ticket.
I'm glad you guys are all here. They're strangers, and it's really cool. It's really, really cool. I think it's so fun. It really is building community inside Corpus.
Trevino says it's the best way to bring people together while bonding with her family, including her sous chef, aka Mother.
You're doing good, 8, 9. It's a lot of fun.
As she prepares courses, Natalie says it's a way of honoring her late grandmother.
Just want to call her and tell her, but yes, I think she'd be so happy and say, it's about time. I think she would definitely tell me that.
During her 11th pop-up dinner, Trevino reflects on starting her own business.
We're just here for the ride. It's like when you start running downhill, but then your feet just keep going, and that's what we're doing.
Saying she's excited to do what she loves by feeding people in the coastal bend, in hopes of having a lasting effect.
They're trusting me that it tastes good, and so far everybody's a hit, so we're doing something right.
Because let's face it, life is too short to eat anything but amazing food. Madeleine Dart.
All right, service please.
3 News.
Can you get it through there?
It's a day that employees and volunteers say they look forward to the most. 26 green sea turtles returning to their natural habitat.
A lot of the patients that we're taking to be released today have been in rehab for a couple of months. It's pretty rewarding to see how far they've come since then, because their wounds are pretty bad in some of them.
After loading the truck, it's time to head out to Aransas Bay.
There's not a lot of traffic or anything, is there? Like boat traffic?
Staggy says these guys need a place where the seagrass and algae is abundant.
Prime habitat right here.
Then, the moment of truth. An exciting task for volunteers Dee Dee Collard.
The joy, it's just the joy of putting these critters back where they belong in the wild.
And Kathy Henderson.
To watch them go free, that's what we're here for.
Both retired, these ladies have found a way to stay occupied.
Now you got it. There you go.
It's great satisfaction, and you know, this is our point of being here, and also I learned so much.
Finally, it's Sharkbite's turn. And yes, he's named after the very thing that almost killed him.
It's amazing that he's doing as well as he is.
It's a bittersweet goodbye between Staggy and Sharkbite. He was one of the first sea turtles she worked with at the Ark.
Oh, this guy just got an extra shot of life. It's all part of the circle of life. It's really rewarding to see their treatment and how far they've come from when I first got here and when they first came in and stuff too.
Bye, buddy.
So beautiful. In these chairs are women with stories, tales of heartbreak, strength, and survival.
I am 151 days cancer-free today.
It is a 10-year anniversary, so we want to make it bigger and better than ever.
As a glam squad brings on the hot pink sass, Yvonne Brooks shares what it was like when she received her diagnosis.
It changes everything. And in my case, I was facing my own mortality as a single mom.
As makeup is applied and some wigs curled, Brandy Leonard, who's going through her 3rd battle, says the diagnosis was only a part of the grim news.
The first thought that comes into your mind is you're dying and, you know, not being there for your family, but then you're here.
Brandy says it's like losing a part of yourself, which is why Jose Salinas co-founded the Pink Divas.
Lo and behold, 10 years later, we have all these beautiful women. You know, this is a club that you kind of don't want to be in, but you kind of want to be in if you do have it. And it's the Pink Divas, and these ladies all become sisters after that.
After the glam is done, these divas go to a photo shoot with co-founder Liana Gonzalez.
Yeah, you look great.
We have a sexy look, we have a casual look, and then we do a look with a pink wig. And the whole time they are bonding, laughing.
One of the most vivacious is Amanda Medina. By her smile and attitude, you probably wouldn't know her cancer is stage 4 and it's metastatic.
I have a lot of faith, and I think God is my ultimate judge. So even though science says I'm stage 4. I don't really soak it in.
Medina says it's taxing, but she's still the woman known for her long lashes and cowgirl boots. So sure, breast cancer may have taken a lot from these women, but they say the battle has given them strength, resilience, and the power to decide when their story ends.
If anything, I'm stronger. I'm a giant redwood tree.
You just got to live your life to the fullest, and you don't worry about what people think or what people say.
Find you, what makes you, and be you.
Madeleine Dart.
Beautiful.
3 News.